Hi, I'm Ted the Diet Coach, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about heart health. And this is something that everybody who is on a high carbohydrate, bulking sort of diet, or for that matter, anybody who is an American who eats very similarly to some Americans, which has a lot of carbs, a lot of starch in their diets, or increases in starch can oftentimes raise insulin levels dramatically, and over time can help these things raise triglyceride levels and cholesterol levels go up. Most people think it's the cholesterol that they eat or the fats that they eat that raise this the most, but actually in the American diets or in Western America, it is the sugars and the starches that do this the most. They have the most profound effect on cholesterol and on triglyceride levels. And I wanted to talk about two main things that you can do to help you get those kind of things under control. The first thing, before that, the first thing one should always do is actually check with your physician and see if you actually have elevated cholesterol levels. And you probably want to do an advanced lipid test as well, not just your standard Kim panel with cholesterol that checks cholesterol, because those numbers may actually turn out relatively normal. Your good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, your low density lipids and your high density lipids may turn out actually fairly normal, and your overall cholesterol number may look very normal. But when you dig down further in an advanced lipid test, which there's a test called an NMR test, which tests some other more specific things like particle sizes and things like that, which are fragments of some of these bad cholesterols that run around, and these are the most damaging. They adhere to the vascular walls and cause hardening of the arteries. These are the things that are actually killing people. These things are actually causing those hardening of the arteries, and it's oftentimes high levels of LDL can indicate that these things are running around, but oftentimes it's not. It can look very, very normal, and then when you dig down deeper into these other tests, you can find that you have massive amounts of these particles running around doing all kinds of vascular damage in the future. So a couple of things that you can do. Two main things that you can do, mainly on these are supplements. Niacin has been well proven to help with reduction of some of the LDLs and increase HDLs. And you want to increase these high density lipids in your body because these things can high density lipids go through your arteries like a scraper. They scrape free plaque from your arteries, arterial walls, and help your circulation. So these things are incredibly important. And especially with the heart being an all or none organ. If there's any part of the heart where oxygen is deprived, then it stops beating. So that's hence a cardiac event or a heart attack. The other thing that often people talk about is fish oils, and there's really only one big fish oil that I think has the most profound effect on these kinds of things, and that's omega-3s. A lot of people focus on the omega-6s and all those kinds of which is great, but actually too much omega-6s can actually cause some of your triglyceride levels to get out of whack, but omega-3s, which are from saltwater fish, fatty fish mainly, you can't. But oftentimes, to get the amounts that you really need on a daily basis, most people aren't willing to eat this kind of fish every day. But typically you want to take about 2 to 4 grams of omega-3s by themselves to have this kind of therapeutic type effect on your HDLs. It actually lowers or increases HDLs and it helps to lower some of the triglycerides, but doesn't actually lower any of the low density lipids. So it's incredibly healthy, and it can do it up to about 30%, if not a little bit more or a little less, somewhere in that. And there's a 15 to 35% variance, but it's fairly significant. And niacin, the same thing. It can actually lower these levels by about 20 to 30% sometimes. So these are two great supplements. That niacin is a little tricky. It does cause a flush, and it can be very uncomfortable. So there is a prescription brand of niacin that you can get from your doctor pretty easily. It's called Niaspan, and it's a time released over a long period of time, and you don't get any flush. I've used it. You don't get any flush whatsoever, especially if you take it with a baby aspirin. So you can also take regular niacin from the store and take a baby aspirin within about a half hour before you take the niacin, and it should reduce those flushing effects. So this is sort of my heart health tips for today. I'll continue to be doing more of these videos. Please keep sending in your requests for questions and things like that. I thought this was appropriate as we get into the season here. So this is Tad the Diet Coach saying stay positive, and I'll see you soon.